he didn't just go kidnap this woman. He kind of blew the entire family budget on this whole lengthy scheme. There was a lot of chicanery.
Some mercenaries.
Yeah, he hired a mercenary gunship. He hired pirates. Mario chased him across multiple worlds, chasing down to get Pauline back. Junior got involved and was helping out. It was the whole big thing. And eventually, Mario chases him all the way back to the Kong Isle, and throws him off of the giant tower that he had built with his face on it. Again, massive waste of money. Or massive use of money.
DK has got a big ego on him.
Yeah. And then he eats a huge barrel of super mushrooms, which presumably he also obtained at great expense, and becomes extremely gigantic, and then Mario beats him up and knocks him out, and then being defeated, he stops and they sit and just talk. And Mario finds out what this is all about, finds out that original Donkey Kong is back. He has now been given the name Cranky Kong, because he is very old. And, he's not all there. So, Mario feels bad about his part in everything that happened to Cranky. So, he, goes and visits, and they talk, and Cranky kind of comes a little bit back to his senses, but he still rambles on about, gameplay and graphics and stuff. He saw some things. He saw things out there among the cosmos. And now he knows. And he can never unknow. But, so that's that. While that's going on, after Wario loses his house, Wario goes off on another adventure. He needs to go find more treasure. He's lost his castle, he's lost all his minions, he needs another adventure. He falls through a dimensional portal.
Yes, you do?
And winds up in the dimension of Mad Bombers, where he meets Bomberman. And, he steals Bomberman's motorcycle, and a bunch of other stuff, and leaves after blowing up a bunch of things. So now,
a grand time, really.
Now he has a motorcycle. Now, back to the Kongs.
Yeah.
So DK kind of blew the entire family treasury on this whole escapade. And, more than just that, he actually needed to raise additional funds. And one of the things he did was sell off some land on Donkey Kong Island to the Kong family's hated rivals, the Kremlings, where they started building industrial construction, like factories and things. And so now the Kremlings, having a base of operations right there on Donkey Kong Island, decide to steal what little remains of the Kong treasury, their banana hoard. So, one night, specifically the night that DK is inducting his little buddy Diddy into the family. So Diddy is being tasked with guarding the banana hoard as part of his initiation into the Kong crime family. Diddy is not very good at this. He gets beat up and shoved in a barrel, and the Kremlings take the banana hoard. So Donkey Kong, DK, finds Diddy and rescues him, and they together march across the island and go apeshit. And slaughter all of the Kremlings and kick them off the island and beat up their King K. Rool. Cranky is very unhappy about this entire thing, and is there's too many colors, and he never would have let them take the bananas. He never would have been on an adventure like this. Back in his day, things were much simpler, and all things that he says. But so they go through and they take back their island, and that's it for the Kongs for now. Meanwhile, Mario comes back after having, dealt with this whole Kong thing. Mario was out dealing with Kongs. Luigi was probably maintaining his plumbing contract. Toad was off dealing with Wario. And during that time, Peach got kidnapped again. And the kingdom got taken over, and Bowser built a bunch of hotels? He's just kind of trying stuff. He's just, throwing the ideas at the wall here. Just trying things to see what will work, I guess. He builds hotels. Maybe there was some kind of spell involving hotels that he found. Some obscure spell that he decided to try. I don't know.
Mario tries stand-up comedy during this adventure.
But, Mario and Luigi come back to the kingdom, and they see all these hotels, so they blow them all up. They tear down all these hotels, and they save the princess, and that's another adventure that they had. Then, afterwards, they've got all this rubble now across the kingdom that they kind of have to clean up and deal with. And, Mario decides, there's valuable stuff in here. He decides he wants to be, an archaeologist. He wants to play archaeologist and have some fun, just, going through these sites, treating them like an archaeological dig site. And while he's going through there, he finds evidence of his own past. And, his own, childhood there in the mushroom world that presumably he was not aware of as an adult. But so they all kind of collectively learn that Mario is from the mushroom world originally. He's not just the hero from Earth. So after this, they kind of have some time to relax. And Mario decides to bring another sport over. Tennis. They have a tennis tournament. And this time, the princess actually enjoys a sport, because she's allowed to play. And they have a tennis tournament. And Junior is there, and a random Koopa Troopa is there, and everyone got a headache because the reality was 3D in a strange way. While they were doing that, DK and Diddy, back on Donkey Kong Island, we're talking to Cranky about, the adventure that they just had, stopping the Kremlings and gaining the banana horde back. Cranky challenges them. He complains that their previous adventure was so successful entirely because they had fancy graphics and sounds. That wouldn't have been anywhere near as successful if it was, if it was grayscale and lower bits and you didn't have your fancy musics. I want you to do it again without all your fancy graphics, is what Cranky challenges them to do. And they don't know what the hell he's talking about. But they do it. They decide, okay, DK and Diddy go to the Kremlings and say, hey, take our banana horde again. We want to fight you again, but this time with worse graphics or something. And
glitches.
And King K. Rool is just baffled, but says okay, and takes the bananas, and then they go on another adventure, and it's worse somehow in a way that they can't define. But they make it through, and they get their banana horde back again, and Cranky still is not happy, because he's Cranky. He's never going to be happy with anything that DK does. So then, now, while Mario and everyone was having a tennis tournament, disaster struck because the Clash House Tower was taken over by bad guys.
What?
You know, the Clash House Tower, this famous Mushroom Kingdom location that everyone knows and loves. It was taken over by bad guys. So Mario fought them.
Okay.
It took a while. It was a very tall tower. While this was happening, Wario had another adventure.